Hello everyone, good afternoon and welcome to a very wet and bleak Oakwell here. We're in South Yorkshire and we have live Championship football on the way in the next couple of hours on TalkSport 2 as Barnsley host Brentford in what is the final game of the weekend. A meeting of the two lowest scorers here in the Championship and both very much in need of a win. Barnsley are back in the second tier, but following that shock win against Fulham here on the opening day of the season, Daniel Stendhal's youthful side haven't won since. Though they have received plaudits for their performances against Forest and Leeds recently, but they both ended in defeats. No goals in over a month now, and without a win in 8 games in all competitions. Brentford splashed more cash than anybody else at this level in the summer, but it hasn't quite gone to plan so far for Thomas Frank's side, who have just one win from their last 6 games. The Bees haven't been shipping goals, but haven't been scoring them either themselves. They have the second worst attack behind Barnsley, but also possess the league's third best defence. Talking of the two teams, let's take you through the team news, starting off with Barnsley. 2 changes made from the 1-0 defeat at Forest last Saturday. Danny Pinilos, the left-back, drops out, as does Malik Wilkes, the forward. Dimitri Cavare comes in at the back and Connor Chaplin joins the attack. So they line up with Collins in goal, Cavare, Anderson, Halmer and Williams across the back, Mowat and Sibic in the centre of midfield, Brown, Thomas and Chaplin all supporting Cauley Woodrow up front. Just the one change for Brentford from the side that drew 0-0 with Stoke City last Saturday, and that comes in midfield as Brian Mbuemo, the French youth international, drops out. Coming in, South African international Kamohela Makocha. So they line up with Raya in goal, and then we think a back 4 of Dalsgaard, Janssen, the captain, Jean-Pierre and Rico Henry at left back, Makocha and Norgay in the centre of midfield, with Jensen in the middle as well, just ahead of them. Benrahma and Kanyos are the wide men. Watkins is the lone striker up front. The two sides out on the pitch here. Brentford in their change kit today, and Barnsley also marching out in front of us here. Alongside me here on TalkSport 2 this afternoon is Sam Parkin. Sam, the weather is absolutely disgusting to say the least. We're getting a soaking here as well. What's it going to be like for the players on what is probably quite a hard surface underneath?
Yeah, we haven't mentioned it too often, but the pitch has taken a hell of a lot of rain since we first rolled up, about 11:30. It's been absolutely teeming down my whole journey here as well. There's been road closures, I think, locally because of the water. It could be difficult, if this keeps coming down, the ball's not going to run freely, and what we do know is both of these teams like to play football, good football, particularly Barnsley at home. You would expect them to roll it out to their 2 centre-halves and try and play, and we know that Brentford historically over the last few seasons have been a very heavily possession-based team as well, so could have a big effect on the game. I hope not, because I really like these two sides. Good quality through the ranks of both clubs.
Brentford, as we said, have got a good defence. Is it a risk to revert to a back 4?
It's a good point, because they have shuffled the pack after being really solid, and that's been the word coming out of Brentford. Yeah, we've lost a little bit of our fluency going one way, but what we've gained so far this season is a defensive solidity that we've never really had. So am I surprised? I'm probably not, because it allows Makocha to come into the side alongside Norgard and Jensen by losing that third centre-half, and it gets Dalsgaard back into his preferred position of right-back. I'm not sure he was too comfortable playing as a right-sided centre-half. He's back at full-back today. Makocha is back in the side. Canos is back in his preferred position, high on the right-hand side. And I hope, aligned to that, Benrahma on the left can start to show that form that he produced last season, where he was, probably their most outstanding player in the second half of the season.
The two sides just about ready to get going here. Pontus Jansson limbering up inside the centre circle as he prepares to do the coin toss here. There is no sunshine inside. The floodlights are already on and it's barely 1:30 in the afternoon here. A sprinkling of Brentford fans away to our left-hand side. Just a few hundred have made the long journey up from West London. If you wanted to come by train today, the earliest train didn't get into Barnsley until 12:30. And with road closures and bridge closures as well, actually, with a pipe bursting on another road, it wasn't easy to get here today for many of these fans. But the Barnsley fans out in force. Hopefully we have a good game ahead of us here today. The referee for this one is David Webb. Two captains, Alex Mowat and Pontus Jansson, inside the centre circle at the moment. Big onus, isn't there, on Corley Woodrow to get goals this season? You know, we've already talked about the fact they lost Kiefer Moore, 17 goals last year, has gone to Wigan. Corley Woodrow got 16, and then behind him Jacob Brown on 8. They've got to start chipping in from other areas, haven't they, Barnsley?
They have, and I understand the performances, especially of Thomas on the left-hand side, has been really good in the last few weeks. He's just not been getting that return of goals that maybe you would have expected him to get, given that he scored here against Fulham on the opening day. So he's acclimatising as well, because he did fantastically well at Coventry on loan last season. But to be a regular in the Championship is something a little bit different. So yeah, more in terms of goals and assists from him. Of course, Chaplin, you want to see that as well, and Jacob Brown, you know, more experience in terms of the amount of games he's played for Barnsley, but again, he's unproven at Championship level. So those boys, now that they've had 6 or 7 games in the second tier, need to start producing the goals to shoot Barnsley up the table.
We are underway, and straight away Barnsley coming forward down the right hand side here with Jacob Brown, but he's given the ball away, and Brentford all in black today with yellow trim. Give the ball away likewise. The ball skipping along this very, very slick surface here, and a late challenge. The ball breaks for Barnsley, and it breaks down the left-hand side for them with Jordan Williams, edge of the penalty area. The tackle goes in on him, and Brentford will play it away now through Matthias Jensen to the right-hand side, where it's picked up by Sergei Kanyos, just inside the Barnsley half, but given away. Neither side can hang on to the ball in these opening seconds here, and it will go all the way through to the goalkeeper, David Raya, who plays it away, but goes straight back to Barnsley. We're getting an absolute soaking here, and Sam Parkin hasn't put up the umbrella. Barnsley coming forward. Mowat trying to guide the ball out to the left-hand side. Breaks for Corley Woodrow, edge of the penalty. Carl's one. Oh, it's a screamer! Exactly 60 seconds on the clock, and Corley Woodrow has bent one right into the top corner. What a start for Barnsley!
I think sometimes the conditions help the centre forwards probably more than any other player on the pitch, because he's just used the wind there. He scored an outstanding goal against Charlton a few weeks ago, where it was pure power, zipped into the top corner. There he stroked that, he's used the wind just to bend it and arc it around the defender initially, and then around David Raya in the Brentford goal. Wonderful goal from a player who badly needed to be back on the score sheet today.
The position and vantage point that we have here in the media area, it just looked as though it was going to be one of those that bends past the far post, but it just came back in.
It definitely caught that wind, didn't it? It's an absolute beautiful finish, and we wondered how they were going to set up, and I think the supporters always want to see you play those two centre forwards at home. Well, that's the way they've gone with Chaplin and Woodrow down the middle, Thomas playing on the left hand side. They've showed their intent almost as soon as they've handed in the team sheets today, Barnsley, and off to the perfect start.
All 4 of Barnsley's goals before today had come at home. That's number 5 for the season. Woodrow with his second of the campaign, having scored in the 2-2 draw here against Charlton back in mid-August. That was some way to get us started. Hopefully the first of many goals here on TalkSport 2 this afternoon. James Fielden and Sam Parkin with you, bringing you through this game here as Barnsley take on Brentford, and Barnsley already leading by 1-0. It was good refereeing as well, wasn't it? Because there was a bit of a foul, I think, in the build-up to that one, but referee David Webb let the play go, and it broke for Woodrow on the edge of the box, and his finish was something else.
Yeah, it fell perfectly for the centre forward, but you've got to be able to execute the finish, and that's what Woodrow's got. Yes, he's a good target for the team. He's a good link player as well. I think he takes the ball in particularly well, but he can produce moments of outstanding quality, and we've seen a couple of them already this season. I would be very surprised if we don't see a few more things out of the ordinary today because of the conditions, but hopefully, you know, it's not to the detriment of the game, because already I'm noticing it's not running particularly well. Brentford trying to zip the ball around in the midfield, and it's just holding up a little bit on the surface.
Yeah, the groundsman certainly didn't have to waste any water on this one today, sprinkling the pitch. The conditions doing that for him. There's a free kick given here right on the halfway line to Brentford, who are looking a bit rattled. Sergio Kanyos trying to put the ball down here in front of Thomas Frank and get play restarted. It's not a great day conditions wise for the likes of Thomas Frank with his curly flowing brown hair. That is going to take an absolute soaking here this afternoon, as are most people inside this stadium. Very open here at Oakwell. The Brentford fans, not too many of them, are able to tuck themselves away at the back of the Palmer Civil Engineering and Construction stand. The Barnsley home end at the opposite end, the CK Beckett stand. They had a good view of that one from the other end of the ground as it curled into the far corner to give Barnsley the lead exactly on 60 seconds. High ball out to Canos on the right hand side here for Brentford, but it doesn't stick. Barnsley will come again, energy in their play. Connor Chaplin plays it down the left hand side here, one for Luke Thomas to chase, and it's a Barnsley throw 5-10 yards up from the corner flag on the left hand side. It's thrown back to Williams, who is on the left hand side as we suspected. Cavare slotting in at right back, and it's a poor kick out here from the Barnsley goalkeeper Collins. It's presented straight to Brentford just inside the Barnsley half, but a good sliding challenge wins it back, and Cavare will go home, and Collins this time booting it high into the sky. Brentford haven't really settled yet, have they?
They haven't. No, it's been a great start from Barnsley. It's a few weeks ago now, but go back to that performance against Fulham. Fulham, much fancied, coming to Barnsley, opening day of the season, blown away by the energy of Barnsley. It's been a similar start today by the home side.
Sibic, high ball to the right hand side where it's picked up by Brown, low ball into the edge of the box, and it's turned behind here by Julien Janvier, and the Guinea international concedes the corner.
Terrific pass from Sibic, who signed in the summer, AFC Wimbledon, played as a full-back last year, right wing-back under Wally Downs during that great escape, playing in central midfield now and been one of the big plus points of Barnsley's season to this point. Wonderful crossfield ball there, releasing Jacob Brown.
Barnsley corner swung into the box, and the goalkeeper David Raya comes off his line to gather, all in yellow, you can't miss him. Ball back to him, and he slices it into the stand. It bounces off the roof here. You get the feeling there could be one or two errors in this game because it is so wet out there.
Absolutely, and Ollie Watkins, I don't think he wants to receive the ball there. He's only a couple of yards outside his own 18-yard box, put under pressure by Thomas. He's doing his job, and his little set for David Raya put the goalkeeper into difficulties, could only find the stand with his clearance. So not settled at all at the moment, Brentford, not adjusted to the conditions.
Cavare on the halfway line goes back into his own half here to find Mads Andersen, who was signed from Horsens in the summer, the Dane. Brad Collins goes long and high, and Rico Henry's let this one bounce, and Raya well off his line on the other side this time, and again he sliced it into the other stand this time. Rico Henry there didn't deal with the ball at all. It's a Barnsley throw on the right hand side.
Yeah, that's my thoughts as well, James. I think given what happened just previously when he kicked the ball into touch, when it was a poor set from Ollie Watkins, he's been asked to come out and get on the ball again there, David Raya. Rico Henry just needs to get to the ball and deal with it.
Goes through to Raya this time, who skids across the surface and collects the ball and just sticks out an arm and tells his team to calm down, get back in shape and reset here. He goes over arm and throws it into Rico Henry with pace, and Barnsley chasing after Brentford straight away. Brentford are able to find the gap and try and play their way out here. Henry, the left back, plays a high ball down the left hand side up towards Watkins, but it doesn't stick for him. Now he holds it back to goal inside the centre circle and goes back here to Pontus Jansson, signed from Leeds in the summer. Barnsley not giving Brentford any time on the ball here. Mokotjo out to the left hand side. Rico Henry has space to run into as he approaches the halfway line down the left hand side, but Brentford trying to make something of it. Ben Rama skipping in field. It's a good run here, slicing forward towards Watkins and cleared away by Williams, and a free kick to Barnsley right on the halfway line. And that's really the best piece of play that Brentford have come up with so far, but the move broke down for them midway inside the Barnsley half. Yeah,
we've seen already, irrelevant of the conditions, Brentford aren't going to change. They're going to try and play. What makes it so fascinating is I think Barnsley are one of the best in terms of getting after opposition teams when they're trying to play out. So it's bold from Brentford, but that probably was their best bit of play, and well done Williams on the cover there. You could understand him being preoccupied by Canos, but he did really well to come over and intercept that ball.
High ball to Luke Thomas on the left hand side as Williams made the run infield to try and take the man away, which worked, but Brentford have the ball back again now, but then Barnsley pinch it back off them inside their own half. Jordan Williams tries to slide it forward for the run of Connor Chaplin. Cavare lobs it onto the right hand side, but the flag is up for offside against Jacob Brown, who was a regular in the promotion team last season. Has started the last couple of games following injury at the start of the campaign. What will Thomas Frank be thinking at the moment? He's fairly still, standing on the edge of his technical area in front of us here, not waving his arms around or anything like that.
Well, he'd be disappointed that they're behind, but he's gone for a new system today. Was it a bit of a freak? You'd probably have to say so, wouldn't you? I think the conditions played a part, and there wasn't a great deal they could do about it. Maybe stopping it at source and stopping it getting into the final third. But I think sometimes you just have to applaud the finish, which was superb from Corley Woodrow. Plenty of time for them to work their way back into this game. And like I already touched on, they won't change Brentford. They'll try and play through that aggressive press of Barnsley.
Just under 10 minutes gone. It's Barnsley 1, Brentford 0 here on TalkSport 2. Your home of the EFL. Lovely takedown here after a long ball forward. Chaplin, edge of the penalty area, trying to curl one into the opposite corner this time. It's out of play. It's a Barnsley throw right by the corner flag. They're really up for this one.
Yeah, and loved that from Chaplin. The touch was supreme over his shoulder, and I thought he made the right decision as well. Just chopping infield onto his stronger left foot, get shots away, test the goalkeeper. It's going to swirl all over the place. He did have a couple of players arriving in support, but why not have a shot, especially considering what Woodrow's just produced.
Yeah, and I guess rebounds are key as well today, aren't they, because the ball's going to be skidding along that surface.
Oh yes, big problems for the goalkeeper. We've already seen the way he tried to deal with the Corley Woodrow goal. Chaplin well within his rights to take the strike on there.
Ball down the right hand side, Cavare steadying himself for the cross. It's blocked by Henry. Cavare back into the penalty area again. It's set on the edge of the area. Woodrow strikes it, and it just goes past the far post, though it took a deflection on the way through, and the referee points for a corner here. Barnsley trying to pepper that Brentford goal, and they're coming closer and closer to a second goal of the afternoon already. You're listening to Barnsley against Brentford in the Championship on TalkSport 2 with Screwfix, proud partners of the EFL. And Brentford have a man down here at the moment. Just trying to see who it is down on the deck. I think it's Jean-Viet.
Yeah, it's a lucky escape, isn't it? I think Barnsley doing well there at keeping the ball alive. It's going to be ugly at times today, but getting those important touches to maintain that bit of momentum and keeping Brentford under pressure, and it ends up in another good opportunity for Woodrow on his other side, left-footed, struck it nicely, and it must have just taken a nick of Jean-Viet, who came flying out of that defensive line to put him under pressure, but very close to being an even better start for the home side.
Jean-Viet back on his feet here, but he's going to have to go off the pitch here, and Brentford will defend this corner with just 10 men. It's going to be taken by Alex Moat on the left-hand side in front of the players' tunnel here at Oakwell. Moat with the outswinger, although it's taken short in the end to Luke Thomas, who crosses it in now, and David Raya comes off his line to catch the ball. And the danger is over for Brentford, and they're back to their full complement of 11 players now as Jean-Viet rejoins the action. Pontus Jansson in the edge of his own penalty area here. It's played out to the left-hand side, and Jean-Viet with a ball clipped forward towards the halfway line. It can't be taken under control by Watkins, and it goes all the way back to Collins, the Barnsley goalkeeper. Again, skews his kick high into the air, and Brentford take it down, expertly controlled on the left-hand side. Infield it goes to McCutcheon. Back to Jean-Viet, who will go square to Pontus Jansson. They've played nearly 13 minutes here at Oakwell now, saying TalkSport, your home of the EFL, and plenty of EFL representatives here today. Behind us, Sabri Lamucci, the Nottingham Forest manager. Win for them at Stoke on Friday night, big result, and they play Brentford on the 5th of October, so he's come to watch them today. While Barnsley's next game is here at home to Derby. That's on Wednesday. That's a 7:45 start, and Liam Rossinia is here watching on today, one of the backroom staff at Pride Park. I think the lazy option would have been to watch this one on the telly today, or read one or two reports, but you've got to go out and watch the games, haven't you?
Yeah, you get obviously a much better idea being here in the flesh, and you can even take little notes of what you see around the actual 90 minutes. The way players conduct themselves in the warm-ups, obviously the technical areas when they make little tactical tweaks. There's all kinds of stuff that goes into a match day, and obviously the performances. So no stone is left unturned now when you're preparing for matches. Starts in earnest probably 48 hours, 72 hours before the game.
McCutcheon on the edge of the penalty area here for Brentford, just about as far as they've been forward in the opening 14 minutes here, but it breaks down as Cavare gets a foot in as he tried to work it left. It's a Barnsley throw midway inside their own half. Corley Woodrow's screamer on the 1 minute mark. The difference between the two sides at the moment. Barnsley with just one win from 4 games played here this season. In fact, just one win in 8 games played overall this season. That was a 1-0 win as they caught Fulham on the opening day. The side relegated from the Premier League met Barnsley, promoted from League One last season. They were only 3 points behind Luton as they came up from the 3rd tier. Emotional season for Brentford, of course. They're last at Griffin Park. Jean-Pierre puts the ball out of play here. It's a Barnsley throw midway inside the Brentford half on the right-hand side as we look over to the far side. Cavare will take this one. Short to Woodrow, back to Cavare. Woodrow again, manages to turn, facing goal now. Plays it inside to Civic. Back wide again, Cavare. Trying to get the better of Rico Henry. Cavare has the strength, high ball in there, but it drifts harmlessly out of play. It's a goal kick to the away side. And at the moment, every time Brentford get the ball forward, they just cannot get Ollie Watkins involved in the game, can they?
Yeah, they've been able to get into midfield, the Brentford team, so far, but it's that little pass that can release one of the front players, which has been lacking in the opening spell of this game. Barnsley ever so impressive. Civic and Moet dominating the midfield. Civic on the ball as well, impressing me more and more with every touch. That was good play as well from Connor Chaplin. Looks to have a good relationship with Corley Woodrow. An early good sign from a Barnsley perspective that those two can be a threat, in a 2.
Canos has just put the ball in the net here for Brentford, but it won't count. He'd already nudged Halma in the back. The Finnish centre half, actually a Finnish under 21 international. He'll be off again in the next international break, you would imagine, which is fast upcoming after next weekend's games. There's a midweek round of games in the Championship this week, so I was saying Barnsley taking on Derby while Brentford host Bristol City down at Griffin Park. Free kick here to Brentford. Dalsgaard is going to take it. He's looking long and he's looking for the channel ball here to set Watkins away, and Watkins takes it down inside the penalty area. That's better from him. Back to goal, lays it back up the line. It's swung into the box by Jensen. Good ball as well. The header goes to the back post where it's taken on by Said Benrahma. Up against Brown. Benrahma is twisting and turning, trying to find some room. He goes back one. The rain getting heavier and heavier all the time here. Still Benrahma, and eventually the rain doesn't help him because the ball skips off the surface and flies out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, certainly the best bit of play from Ollie Watkins, stretching his legs into the right-hand channel. Secure touch, and it was Jensen, I think, that made the dart from midfield, and Civic was a little bit caught cold by that. He switched off for a fraction. It was Jensen's header that ultimately took it out to the wider left-hand side. Benrahma, good bit of initial trickery, but overrunning it on the second occasion when he fronted up Cafari. But slightly better from Brentford after Barnsley, you have to say, dominating the early exchanges.
Brentford spent more money than anybody else in the off-season. 3 million on David Raya, Ethan Pinnock 3 million here from Barnsley, and Buemo nearly 6 million, Pontus Jansson 6 million likewise, Jensen 3.5, Norgard just over 3, Halil Dedezulu for 2.7 mil, Joe Valencia nearly 2 million. It's not looking like a side that have really splashed the cash in the summer.
No, it's taken a while to get going. Like I said, pre-match saw a really good performance at Charlton and expected them to build on that. They were wasteful in the final third, but the all-round game and the units across the pitch for Thomas Frank's side looked very good on that occasion. So we're still kind of waiting for that team to gel, but how long can we say it for? We need to get it together.
Cavare crosses from the right. It's a firm clearance away though by Janvier. And a throw in to Barnsley, just about in line with the edge of the penalty area as they attack down this right wing. And even at this early stage, you say Brentford really can't afford to concede a second goal, can they? We've played nearly 19 minutes.
No, and they've looked the more likely, haven't they, to add to their tally. Barnsley, rather than Brentford, get back on level terms. That Cauley Woodrow effort just inches away.
Strong challenge there by Mads Andersen. The official's happy enough. Cavare putting his foot in and getting the better of Rico Henry. But Henry eventually gets back to his feet and clears the ball away. Breaks in midfield for Sibic, who goes back now to Williams, the left back, working it out to the left hand side, but doesn't quite reach Thomas there. And there's a break down the right hand side for Brentford. Dalsgaard, Watkins making up room in the middle, swung in towards Watkins now, and in the end Barnsley just get enough on it to clear it away, but it's going to come back again. Makocho loses the ball in midfield in a crucial area, and it's slid forward now into the path of Chaplin, who wasn't quite aware that the ball was being played to him as quickly as it was, and he was nearly one-on-one with the defender there, Pontus Jansson, but in the end it breaks back down the other end, and now Brentford coming forward again. Benrahma into the penalty area, plays it across, and it's headed away by Anderson. End-to-end stuff here at Oakwell at the moment. Remains 1-0 to the home side here on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, wonderful play from Dalsgaard on the right-hand side, exchanging passes with Norsgaard, and I think his delivery was pretty much all you could kind of expect from that position. Anderson defended it particularly well in behind Ollie Watkins.
Advantage played by the referees. Barnsley come forward. Woodrow offside. He's put the ball into the net for a second goal, but it's not going to count. The whistle had long since gone from David Webb. Offside the call, but that one must have been pretty close.
Yeah, I think it's the right call. It looks a yard or two offside. Finishes it wonderfully well, as you would expect, given that he's already got himself a goal, Cauley Woodrow. And Brentford, if it's not been a disappointing start already, an injury to one of their players over on the far side.
Seen a replay of that call. It was a good yard beyond the last defender there. With Brentford having a man down at the moment, it gives both sets of players to come across to this near side and get some fluids on board, and Thomas Frank issuing a few instructions here to Henrik Dalsgaard, his fellow countryman, the two Danes in conversation.
Jean-Pierre again, isn't it? That could be the end of his afternoon if it's a reoccurrence of maybe what happened earlier when he blocked that shot.
And that would mean a return for Ethan Pinnock back at Barnsley. He's warming up in front of us here on the near touchline at the moment. Jean-Pierre still down. He's sitting up again, but having a word with the physio, not looking entirely comfortable over there. We have played 21 and a half minutes, nearly halfway through the first half, and it's been an enjoyable game overall so far, very open.
It has. I think it's a game that Barnsley would have looked at, given the start to the season that they've had and earmarked, especially given that Brentford's away form has been really poor over the last couple of seasons. So coming here and considering what they did against Fulham on the first day of the season, they would have fancied their chances, and they've started with a great attitude. The energy's been fantastic, got themselves an early goal, and they've really looked to build on that. They're the better side at the moment. Brentford's still waiting to click into gear, which you maybe understand a little bit considering it's a new formation and getting such a poor start.
Also on how to play here, it's a Brentford corner needlessly conceded by Alpo Palma, who goes running into the stand as he tries to slow himself down. He's got to get back inside the penalty area here though to defend this corner kick. And Brentford, you sense slowly growing into this game now, starting to get into better positions, and this corner will be taken by Mathias Jensen down the right hand side, the former Danish under-21 international. And it'll be an outswinger, mix of man-to-man and zonal for Barnsley. It hits the chest of Cavare at the near post, and it'll be brought away down the left now. Chaplin after it, knocked it past his man, has the pace to sprint past Makocho as well. Chaplin down the left wing. He has players running against him now, one of them being Dalsgaard, who challenges him. Breaks on the edge of the area here, and Barnsley still hold on to the ball. They've done ever so well, but in the end it's given away by Alex Moat. They come again, Cavare down the right, leaves it for Jacob Brown. Woodrow dropping off, clipping a high one to the right hand side, but too high, too far, and just over Cavare's head. It is a throw in to Brentford in the left back position.
If you had just got turned there, Cauley Woodrow, I thought the pass was on to just slide it in behind Jean-Pierre. He still looks like he's toiling after a couple of knocks that he's taken in the early part of this game. Sibic had made a really intelligent run, and then similar to how Cauley Woodrow got played in a few moments ago, Sibic potentially could have been an own goal. Didn't see it, opted to go to the right and just overcooked his pass.
The rain coming down in, it's kind of like extremely heavy drizzle really. It's not like pouring down, but it's just totally constant here, and it's making the pitch ever so slick in front of us. This main stand that we're in here, very much old school, half of it is still wooden seats. More modern plastic seats in front of us, though there are some fans who've decided to sit down there. Most of them have umbrellas or hoods up. There are plenty of seats under cover, so it does make you wonder why they've decided to sit down there. Thankfully, we're just about under cover. Ball's been given away here by Barnsley. Brentford playing it forward through Mokotjo. And Watkins away down the left-hand side, no flag. It looked as though he should have gone up, but the assistant not quite up with play. Watkins goes back, Benrahma strikes, saved by the goalkeeper. Good save it was as well. Comes back out to the right-hand side for Jensen. Lifts it in high again towards the far post. Watkins was there, but so was Kavare. It's a throw-in, and the boos you can hear are for the linesman because he didn't raise his flag. It'd be interesting to see a replay of that one.
It was close, James. Daniel Stendhal was in line with it. We were a little bit away. He certainly seems to think it was offside, as do the majority of the supporters inside of here, understandably. But well played, Ollie Watkins in the end. Good composure to pick up Benrahma, and the first save of the day from Brad Collins down to his left. But yeah, not sure. Looked tight to me.
The boos still ringing around Oakwell here. Not keen to forgive and forget. Thankfully, the goalkeeper Brad Collins made a fantastic save. Canos down the right, running past him is Jensen. Low ball back towards the edge of the penalty area, but Civic is there for the home side to bring it away. Sends a long ball down into the left channel, and Woodrow is after it, and the former Fulham man just couldn't keep it in play in the end. And a bit of pushing and shoving on the near touchline in front of us here, the fourth official having to step in. Dalsgaard and Woodrow clashing.
Yeah, Thomas Frank disappointed that there was no one arriving there on the edge of the box from Jensen's pullback, but that's what he needs to do. I mean, they should have, in theory, the extra man in the middle of the pitch today, Brentford, but Jensen's been unable to have any kind of impact as of yet. It took up a nice position in between the space between the defence and the midfield there, was able to get turned and very nearly create a chance for Brentford. The two midfield players, Moet and Civic, have had a really good start to this game. We've had the upper hand and they've no right to do so, really.
Corley Woodrow's goal the difference at the moment. 26 and a half minutes gone here at Oakwell. It is Barnsley 1, Brentford 0. It's a goal kick here to Barnsley at the moment. They've made plenty of the early running, though Brentford starting to have more of a say in the game now. Towards Watkins, but Anderson steps across but puts the ball straight out of play. It's a throw into Brentford. The mood just starting to turn a bit here around Oakwell at the moment. They're starting to find some space where they weren't before, and the likes of Benrahma looking tricky again.
Yeah, well, I thought we anticipated it being a good football match today, in terms of two teams that want to play, and even though the conditions aren't particularly good, we're getting it, certainly.
Here come the home side again. Luke Thomas, edge of the penalty area, curling one towards goal, but straight at David Raya. Brentford try and play forward from the back quickly. Watkins into Mokotjo on the right hand side. Canos in field, and then a relatively blind ball played forward there by Christian Norgard. Kavara using his strength and physical power to get the better of Saeed Benrahma, and Barnsley win the throw.
Yeah, I think that pass was just played into the channel there, the right hand channel. I think Watkins would have been in business, but he just flicked it into the middle of the pitch where Barnsley were well stocked and able to clear the danger.
To throw in to Barnsley over on the far side. More Barnsley fans on that far side as we look across now, having to cover up and lift the hoods up. It's not a day to be out and about here in Yorkshire. Throw in to Barnsley on the right hand side, trying to work their way forward slowly. You're listening to Barnsley against Brentford in the Championship on TalkSport 2 with Screwfix, proud partners of the EFL. Thomas on the left hand side here for the Tykes. The Bees defending in numbers. The cross swung in. Brown was at the far post, but pint-sized Rico Henry wins the header. Brown again on the right wing, up against Henry. Brown toying with him, has the ball at his feet, twisting and turning, trying to get the better of the left back. And in the end, leaves the ball behind him, and Henry plays the ball away. Benrahma with a big switch of play, try and find Canos down the right-hand side. Canos takes it into his path, but his touch was too heavy. The pitch was slick, and he's fallen into the stand as he collides with the concrete that stretches along this near side of the pitch, and he's gone over the barrier into the stand, but thankfully he's okay, and he's back on the pitch in no time at all. Mowat with the ball forward now, and Thomas gives Dalsgaard the slip momentarily. The tackle's starting to fly in here a bit now. Mokotjo goes down, falls on the ground, has the ball trapped beneath his feet, and Barnsley hacking away at him here. There's a big challenge coming in this game soon. Williams coming forward. Dalsgaard was in hard on him, and it's back with David Raya, now the Brentford goalkeeper. He's taken quite a few touches. Chasing after him on the other side of the penalty area is Chaplin, who's looked lively so far. Tavare in the end going back to his goalkeeper. Collins will take his time before hammering it downfield again, but no one in red chasing after it, so Rico Henry can take his time, holds the ball near his own corner flag, and in the end it's the challenge from Brown which puts the ball out of play for a goal kick. Half an hour gone, Barnsley 1, Brentford 0 here on TalkSport 2. James Fielden and Sam Parkin guiding you through this one. And Sam, half an hour gone, Barnsley leading, but Brentford just starting to find opportunities, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, and Barnsley started really well. Brentford have had to try and acclimatise to the conditions. They've done it better in the last 5 minutes or so, but that said, it's been a bit scrappy, plenty of challenges flying in, and you just got to be sensible, because I think there is that temptation, when it is a day like today, there is that temptation to go steaming in and go sliding into challenges. You just have to try and temper that to a degree. I thought they were unfortunate there, Brentford, though. I thought Mokotjo was probably fouled 2 or 3 occasions. Thomas Frank certainly thought so during that melee over by the dugouts. Referee allowing play to go on, and I suppose it's an even bigger job for the referees when it's like this as well, because you have to be very precise of what you can let go and what you have to blow up for, because there's going to be plenty of tackles. It's just natural, I think, when the heavens have opened.
Jacob Brown going in late there on Mokotjo. Play goes on. Cavare holds it near his own goal line here, but he manages to play it out quickly and finds Mads Andersen as he was closed down. High ball forward towards Chaplin, who's battling for the award of smallest man on the pitch along with Rico Henry. Janvier plays it forward, and it's out for a Brentford throw, 5 or 6 yards inside the Barnsley half on the left. This weather, quite frankly, is absolutely disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been relentless, hasn't it? All day, I think. And let's hope that the pitch continues to play relatively well. At the moment, it is not too bad out there. They had a good look prior to the game. Maybe 2 hours before the kickoff, there was a number of ground staff out there with people from both sides. I don't think there was too much concern at that point, but if it continues to come down like this, it will have an effect. That's only natural.
Yeah, heavy rain is forecast for all of this afternoon here in Barnsley. Woodrow gets the favour of the bounce there and slips it out to the left-hand side. Raya's come a long way. Oh, he's missed it. There's an open goal. It's cut across, a chance for 2-0. And it's slipped wide by Connor Chaplin. There was a block in there from Pontus Jansson. It had to be as well. Otherwise, that would have been 2-0 Barnsley.
Yeah, I knew they were in massive trouble as soon as that beautiful little bit of play took place from Paulie Woodrow. Skipped beyond 2 Brentford defenders. Fantastic hold-up play, releasing Thomas on the left-hand side. I don't know why Ray had decided that was his opportunity to come charging off his goal line. Should have stayed put. He was going wide, Thomas. His little ball inside was perfect. Can Connor Chapman just show a little bit more composure there? Can he take a touch and front up Pontus Jansson? Took it first time, and the big defender was able to make an important block, but another good chance. That's 3 now, so maybe Brentford's 1.
Yeah, Brentford have just had 1 shot in the game so far. Pontus Jansson in the right place at the right time there. Of course, used to play his football down the road from here.
Yeah, I think Connor Chaplin was maybe sitting on 4 or 5 goals for the season. He may have taken that touch and not survey his options, if you like, but just front up Jansson. Would have been able to shift it either way, and then he would have had the simple task of rolling it into the empty net. I think when you take it first time like that, you always give the defender the opportunity to react.
It's Barnsley 1, Brentford 0, and TalkSport 2's official betting partner Sky Bet are giving you the best seats in the house thanks to their new in-play features. It's as close to the action as you can get without lacing up your boots. 18 plus, begambleaware.org. Eligibility restrictions, T's and C's apply. Well, Barnsley do have Luke Thomas back on his feet here. The England under-20 international was in that squad earlier this month. The fourth official just checking he's okay as he slowly makes his way off the field. It is a corner. Mowat swings it in. One body went down inside the penalty area. It was Chaplin who hit the deck. Not too many complaints though, and Brentford are able to clear the ball away now. And they pick it up down the right-hand side with Saïd Benrahma. The Algerian skips in field. Good close control from him. Jinks one way, then goes back the other. Gets the better of Williams. Slides it out to the right-hand side. Nice ball. Jensen edge of the penalty area. Swings a good ball in. Chance! Equaliser! It's in there from Watkins. And the only real clear chance they've had so far, they have taken. And the few hundred Brentford fans at the other end of the ground go absolutely wild. A header down into the ground, and the ball bouncing up off this slippery surface, almost into the top corner. Totally free header. Great move, great goal. Barnsley 1, Brentford 1.
Well, there's a risk to the way that Barnsley play, and we've just seen it there in evidence. Their deepest man is midway through their attacking half there. It's incredible, really. They leave 2-on-2, Barnsley. The ball's turned over. It switched to the right-hand side where Benrahma does fantastically well. Wonderful little bit of skill. The overlap from Jensen is perfectly timed, and the delivery sublime. And that's where Ollie Watkins is learning that he's going to have to be when he's going to play as a number 9. He's in the perfect position, completely unmarked, because Barnsley can't get back in time into their shape. And Watkins with a really comfortable header in the end, taking it past Collins. But leaving 2v2 at the back, if the delivery was correct into Benrahma, that it was, always going to be in big trouble.
Just the second goal on the road that Brentford have scored this season, and the last was also scored by Ollie Watkins in their 1-0 win at Middlesbrough back on the 10th of August. They've had to wait a while. Since then, beaten 1-0 at Leeds, beaten 1-0 at Charlton, beaten 2-0 at Preston in their last away game. And that goal will be some welcome relief for Thomas Frank and co. Throw forward towards Watkins now, nods it into Canos, who takes it on the chest, edge of the penalty area. Stepping in is Sibic, who tries to take it down to clear it away. Makocho trying to pick up the scraps now, but he fouls his man. It's a free kick to Barnsley on the edge of their own penalty area as Anderson hits the deck. Good game on our hands now though, 1-1 as we approach half-time.
Yeah, we thought it would be a good spectacle, two good teams, conditions probably adding to that in the opening few minutes, and now Brentford starting to get into their stride, and it's amazing really. There's so much talk about Watkins. We dominated our pre-match chat, but he gets you those goals, irrelevant of if he's playing down the left-hand side, if he's playing as a central striker. He gives you the goals, but does it take something away from Brentford's all-round performance and how dominant they've been, at times over the last 18 months, 2 years when he's not playing wide? Well, he's certainly done his job today in terms of getting the goals, but we've hardly seen him. So it's going to continue to be a big talking point moving forward. But well done, because that was a fantastic break from Brentford, and that was the position that he had to be in, middle of the goals, and a really firm header to take it past Collins.
Throw in here for Barnsley, which will be taken by Jordan Williams, the 19-year-old, formerly of Huddersfield. Sibic in the centre of the park, big towering presence he is in there. Mowat rolls it out to the left-hand side, looking for Thomas to throw into Barnsley in line with the edge of the penalty area, left-hand side. 37 minutes gone here at Oakwell, 1-1. Mowat digging across out from the left-hand side, but he sends it high and long over to the right and sends it out of play for a throw-in to Brentford, midway inside their own half. Barnsley do have the youngest squad on average in the entire division, just 21.8 years old. They don't want to buy players over the age of 23. They're all about youth, which I guess can carry you through a certain number of games, especially if you're playing against a team that has a number of over 30s in the team, and energy and youthful exuberance can get you through. Watkins through on goal here, chance, he's hit the post, rebound, it's off the bar, Benrahma, goal! Oh no, It's gone wide. It looks as though he's stroking into an empty net. Somehow he's missed the target. The Barnsley fans are in disbelief. Somehow that one has gone wide. And what a let-off there for Barnsley. Watkins hitting post and bar before Benrahma puts it wide. Incredible stuff.
Well, it's just a hopeful ball forward. I don't know if Ollie Watkins has been a little bit lazy coming out, or if he takes his line off Jordan Williams, the fullback. Either way, he's onside. Brilliant touch. He looked for a moment that I thought it was Anderson was going to pull him back, would have been a certain red card. He's able to get his strike away, and not once but twice he's foiled by the woodwork. And then following in, Benrahma looks like he steered it into the unguarded net with his left foot and must have missed the post by a yard or so, but wonderful Brentford attack.
I was just waiting for the nets to bulge here. It's often quite hard to tell because at Barnsley they've got red nets which kind of blend in with the red seats behind them, and it just looked as though the way the ball fell to Benrahma that he's just going to coax it into the net, and in the end it skipped around the back of the goal and out the other side. But Watkins there hitting post and bar within the matter of 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, whether it was good fortune or not, the touch from Ollie Watkins over his shoulder was fantastic, taking it in his stride and giving him the opportunity to get the initial strike away, but so unlucky because he didn't do too much wrong with either finish.
Just over 5 minutes to go of normal time in the first half, and it has been a great game to watch so far. Very open, chances at either end. Screamer to open the scoring, a stooping header to equalise, and the post and crossbar have just been hit in a matter of seconds just a few moments ago. The ball back with David Raya at the moment as he plays it out here to Janvier, who's been in the wars a bit in this first half. He's gone down with a couple of injuries, but he looks okay again now. Norgard plays it forward to Makocha, who's dispossessed in midfield. Mowat plays it forward now to Woodrow, who's dropped off the front, trying to link the play, waiting for bodies to join him. Mowat to Cavare down the right hand side, the ball not quite into his path. Dimitri Cavare playing it forward down the right to Brown, who comes in field, then goes back on the outside. And in the end he fouls Rico Henry, who was going nowhere really, had his back to him but just got a bit too close, and the assistant referee, who's only a couple of yards away, flags for the free kick there.
Yeah, good contest over there. I think Jacob Brown's had a really good start to the game. He's looked sharp, getting on the ball, and Rico Henry matching him there, winning the free kick. And yeah, it's a big season for Rico Henry, because I think a lot of people looking at him and, you know, comparing him to maybe Sawyers, who's moved back obviously to West Brom. Ollie Watkins getting admiring glances. Benrahma, I think Rico Henry, a lot was expected of him, and it's just stalled somewhat his Brentford career, so interesting to see how he goes this year.
One ball forward, it breaks here for Brentford on the left hand side, who are certainly the side in the ascendancy at the moment. Ball played in field towards Watkins, it's swept away by Civic, taken down by Janvier on halfway, given away, and Woodrow again linking the play as he drops off from the number 9 position that he's been operating in. The players sliding around all over the place on this playing surface now. Infield by Norgard into the centre circle. Makocha slides it in between two to the Henry on the left hand side. Down the line now to Watkins, who's pulled wide, holding on to the ball, getting booed here by the home fans. Brentford playing some good stuff all of a sudden. Said Benrahma, edge of the penalty area, back it goes. They're trying to work it out to the right, are they? No, it's prodded forward, but Barnsley have it back again. Makocha trying to get involved, and he came from an offside position, and the sarcastic cheers are because the assistant referee on this near side has raised his flag for just about the first time in this game. The Barnsley fans think he should have done it a few more times than he has done so far.
Yeah, terrific stuff from Brentford, moving it beautifully now. Benrahma heavily involved. 2 new recruits in the summer midfield, new recruits, Jensen, Norgard in their stride, popping it around. I think it leads itself to that type of football when you have that heavy rain that's come down. It moves nice and slickly into people's feet. It's actually probably easier to control when it's days like today in terms of when the ball's been zipped around on the deck. So Brentford probably shaded it last 10-15 minutes after a great opening 2025 from the home side.
The rain and the wind still swirling around here at Oakwell. So throw in to Brentford in their own defensive third, taken by Henry. Not the greatest of balls to Pontus Jansson, who has to improvise. He lifts it into the air, and then in the end it's thumped into the stand by Janvier. It's a Barnsley throw. What will Daniel Stendhal be thinking at the moment as he approaches his half-time team talk?
I'd be disappointed they haven't built on the early lead. The wonderful goal, yeah, maybe a stroke of luck with it, but it's a perfect start for them. You know, when they desperately need 3 points to get their season up and running today. And be disappointed that Brentford have been able to work their way back into the game.
Barnsley with that sole victory so far this season here on the opening day against Fulham. Brentford with a win at Middlesbrough, added to by a 3-0 home success against Derby, who have been very up and down this season. And of course, all kinds of goings on there this week that have been well documented. David Raya with a long ball forward, nodded on by Watkins. Canos chasing it. Williams should get there first. Canos trying to get the wrong side of him, and he fouls Williams. And a free kick given to Barnsley. Looked like it was a 50-50, but the assistant saw something we didn't.
Yeah, difficult to tell from here. It looked like Jordan Williams was in trouble initially because Canos' touch took it across the full back. Looked like he was going to be able to get to the byline, but maybe one of those where they both had a piece of each other's shirts. It goes the way of the home team.
30 seconds to go of normal time inside the first half. Here on TalkSport 2. Barnsley 1, Brentford 1. Janssen with the header away here after Collins' kick forward. Jensen tries to take it down in the middle, and it goes out off him in the end. It's a Barnsley ball to be taken by Jordan Williams. Fielder Civic, he tries to help it forward towards Chaplin. 3 minutes of additional time at the end of this first half, and we're into those now. No one wants to concede at this point. Alex Mert just inside his own half, goes back here, and it's played square by Halmer. A high one out from Collins towards the halfway line. His kicking has been a bit hit and miss so far, hasn't helped his team on occasion. That's a really poor touch there by Halmer. Throw into Brentford on the right. Jensen back out to Canos. Trying to help it forward to Jensen again, who's hurt himself here. He's hobbling around on the pitch at the moment, not looking too comfortable at all. Canos, the ball went off his arm there, and the referee spotted it. It's a free kick to Barnsley. Jensen struggling all of a sudden. We've got 3 minutes of added time because we've had a number of injuries. Both sides have committed a number of errors, really, haven't they, because of the slick surface. You know, that one there from Halmer was just dribbled straight out of play, and a number of balls which should have been controlled that haven't been. Cavare steaming forward from right back. Wide he goes to Brown, low ball in towards the near post. The defender there, Pontus Jansson, apologises to the goalkeeper who came out to collect the ball, but Jansson took it away from him. And it is a corner here to Barnsley over on the right hand side.
Yeah, good raid. Cavare, Jacob Brown exchanging passes, the ball in from Cavare. I think it's a good one, and no problem there on a day like today. Jansson getting across the goalkeeper and just making sure that he's able to clear his lines.
So corner from the right here to be taken by Alex Mert in the second minute of added time. Swung in towards the near post, the heads go up, but it's headed away by Christian Norgard. Ben Rama trying to dribble it out from the back. Wonderful feet there number 10 has, and Watkins can bring it forward now. Over the halfway line he goes, but he's having to take his time because he hasn't got much support with him. Goes past his man but dribbles it out of play in the end as Luke Thomas gave him some close attention. Everyone off for a big dry out, I think, at half time here. Kitman's going to be busy. I think most of the players will want a change of shirt. As Janssen heads the ball out of play, it's a throw into Barnsley. To be taken by Thomas. Throws it back here to Williams. Woodrow was clattered into from behind there, but he manages to hold on to the ball. We've got about 30 seconds left here. Halmer going back to Collins, who signed from Chelsea in the summer. High ball forward from him. Brown can't do anything with it. The flag off offside. A few question marks over that one on the far side. The Barnsley fans not entirely convinced. And that will just about take us through to half time here. Goalkeeper spotting up the ball. The referee has a check of the watch. Very entertaining first 45. David Raya ready to take this one long, as he does do. The referee puts the whistle to his lips and blows the half-time whistle. Well, it's been quite the first half here, and he got started in spectacular fashion. Barely 60 seconds had gone when Cauley Woodrow curled one into the far corner from the edge of the penalty area. That gave Barnsley the lead. Brentford slowly grew into the game and got the equaliser 10 minutes before the break. Wonderful work down the right hand side. Jensen's cross finished off by Ollie Watkins, his 5th goal of the season. And after that he hit the post and the bar all in one move as well, and Said Benrahma really should have scored in the follow-up from that, but ultimately it is level at the break. The half-time score here at Oakwell, it is Barnsley 1, Brentford 1. Yeah, thanks very much. Big games on the way this week, and hopefully a good second half here at Oakwell as well. 1-1 at the break. Cauley Woodrow's screamer inside 60 seconds cancelled out by Ollie Watkins' header 10 minutes from half-time. The players are back out, they've changed ends. We're ready to go in this second half, just about. No changes at the break. So once again, Barnsley line up with Collins in goal, back four, Cavare, Anderson, Halmer and Williams, Mowatt and Civic in front of them, and then Brown, Chaplin and Thomas behind Cauley Woodrow. While for Brentford, they've got David Raya in goal, Dalsgaard, Janssen, Jonvier and Henry across the back, Makotio and Norgar in the middle of midfield with Jensen, Benrahma and Canos either side of Watkins, the goal scorer. We are back underway again. Barnsley attacking the home end in this second half here at Oakwell, the CK Beckett stand, which is where the loudest fans are situated. Straight away Benrahma goes down looking for a free kick from the referee. One doesn't come, and Mowatt goes all the way back to Collins. It's broken in midfield here for Civic. There's a big presence in there for Barnsley. It lifts the ball over the top, but it's fairly flat, fairly straight, and goes all the way through to the goalkeeper, who bowls it out here and gives it to Dalsgaard. Forward to Canos down the right hand side. Good ball down the right, and Canos after this one. Watkins waiting in the middle. Canos trying to get the better of Civic here. Clips the high ball in there. The goalkeeper's missed it, and it's in! We had a goal less than 60 seconds in the first half. We've got a goal less than 60 seconds into the second, and Brentford have turned this game around. They lead by 2 goals to 1, and I think it's Said Benrahma who may have nodded that one in. Watkins with a header at the far post. Looks like he got the final touch. It's Barnsley 1, Brentford 2.
I can't tell you how good that delivery is from Sergi Canos. It looks like he's run out of pitch there. It's Civic who's the closest Barnsley player, who's trying to cover there towards the foot corner flag on the far side, and Canos just stands up. A beautiful delivery. It's so difficult for Collins to come and make an impact there. Can't get a touch on it. Ollie Watkins from all of a yard probably just nods it into the bottom left hand corner. What a start to the second half for the Bees.
It's a funny old game, isn't it? 60 seconds into the first half, 60 seconds into the second.
Yeah, I mean, I was just about to applaud how good Toby Civic's been since the start of this match, really, and he got on the ball, started that second half. He played a ball forward. Daniel Stendler was bitterly disappointed that there wasn't a runner in behind the Brentford back four, either Woodrow or Chaplin, and it was transferred ever so quickly, and it meant that Williams was up the pitch because they were in control possession. Civic just couldn't get back in time. Delivery brilliant from Canos.
Ball down the right hand side. Canos chance to cross, maybe just runs out of pitch in the end, and it's a goal kick here. Well, Barnsley from a position of strength at the start of this game have fallen right away here, and a disastrous start to the second half for them. And their fans that have travelled up from West London enjoying themselves behind that goal, where that header was planted into the bottom corner. Just didn't look as though there was going to be space to get the header in, did it? And then suddenly it hit the bottom of the net, and they're coming forward again. They want another goal. Benrahma slides it out to the right hand side. Wonderful play. Flag up for offside against Canos.
Oh, he didn't have to be either. What an exchange as well. Benrahma, Ollie Watkins, little intricate passing flicks. Canos just going a fraction too early. Didn't need to, and Brentford should have been in business for a third.
Forward it goes. It's played away here by Brentford, who are looking very confident on the ball. Benrahma clipping a ball over the top. Makotio chasing after it. Collins well out of his goal and plays it away. It will go out of play for a Brentford throw.
It's early days, James, but I think they've maybe just underestimated Brentford a touch just in the setup. It's very attacking, Barnsley. It's almost an orthodox 4-4-2. They flood players forward. They've been caught on the counter on a couple of occasions. Here we go again. They're really stretched at the moment. And towards the end of that first half, Brentford were playing through them at ease.
Woodrow down the right-hand side, tries to angle a ball into the box, having received it from Cavare, who picks it up again here. Dimitri Cavare, wide right, Woodrow plays it back, Moet, edge of the area, curling one towards the far corner, got right underneath it and bent it high into the stand behind the goal. Goal kick given. But options there for Barnsley as they look for an equaliser themselves in this game now.
Yeah, good effort from Moet. Again, it's a day that leads itself to that. Just take a touch and get it on the target. You could see it. It was a whipped effort from Moet, but it gathered that pace that Woodrow strike had in the first half, and only a few yards over the top.
Ball out of play here in the left back position for Barnsley. Jordan Williams will be the man to take. Two benches, by the way, today. Jack Walton, the sub-goalkeeper for Barnsley, and then Patrick Schmidt, who was brought in from Admira in the summer. The forward hasn't really had too much of a look in so far. Danny Pinilos, Mamadou Tiem, Malik Wilkes, Jordan Green and Callum Stiles. Well, for Brentford, their sub-goalkeeper is Luke Daniels, and Ethan Pinnock, former Barnsley man. Nikos Korelis, who we were talking about before the game, the Greek forward, Josh Da Silva, Brian Mbuema, who's dropped today, Josh Clark and Jan Zumburek. So options on the benches for both managers. No one looking towards them yet. Cavare flying down this right wing. He's gone past Ben Rama and Mokotjo. Low ball into the box, which didn't really have too much power on it either. Brentford able to play the ball away up the line. The Barnsley fans thought the ball got out of play, and Ben Rama gets the better of his man. Nice ball in field, and they've got a 3-on-3 here if they can work it. Oh, the flag's going to go up for offside against Canos. He knew it was coming as well, and that was really needless, wasn't it, because they had such a good situation there. If it had just timed his run, Canos would have been through on goal legitimately.
Yeah, and look at the reaction of the Brentford technical area, James. They're absolutely bitterly disappointed. Thomas Frank saw him stray a few moments ago going offside, and once again there, and it is a criticism of Sergio Canos' game, because he's such a good athlete. He doesn't need to be going early there, but sometimes he just needs to think a little bit more.
Ball doesn't quite break here for Barnsley, and the home fans getting frustrated here now. Goes through to the goalkeeper for Brentford, who are looking so confident now. Overarm throw out to Rico Henry, and at the moment Brown is getting screamed at by Daniel Stendhal for not tracking his man. He was able to receive it too easily. Ben Rama, such good close control, he's fouled. He's starting to look a class act in this game, isn't it?
Oh, he is. I mean, he was fantastic last season. He fitted into the Brentford system superbly. Had a great end to the season when they're kind of playing that two number 10s, if you like, in behind a front player. He's been fantastic today.
Jensen wide, Canos edge of the penalty area, chance to cross again. Canos plays it across, and it's gathered by the goalkeeper. Watkins is waiting in the middle, chasing a hat-trick now. Picked up by Brentford again, edge of the penalty area, they have it. Doesn't quite break for Christian Norgard. Watkins on 6 goals this season now. He only got 10 in each of the last 2 seasons. He's getting in some good positions, as is this man, Saeed Ben Rama, on the left-hand side for Brentford. Holding onto the ball, series of give and goes with Watkins, and then in the end it goes out off Ben Rama. It's a Barnsley throw.
Barnsley have actually changed now. Thomas has gone centrally. Chaplin's gone over to the left-hand side, so it's more of a 4-2-3-1. And they're very open. I mean, they're all over the place. Start of this second half, Brentford are cutting them open at will when they come forward. So just have to keep an eye on that to see if Daniel Stendhal readjusts once more. It's over on the left-hand side, because Connor Chaplin, now he's been playing as a centre forward, is now playing as a left-sided forward, and there's a big onus on you to get back there and help out the left back. Well, he's not done it in the opening few minutes of the second half.
Moet spreads the ball out to the left-hand side, and it's a poor ball in field by Williams. Fans getting frustrated. It's a free kick here after a foul by Canos, and it's taken quickly by Barnsley, but the ball was in motion, so it'll have to be respotted and taken it again here. Anderson approaching the halfway line. Looks like it could be 8 games without a win for Barnsley, the way things are going in this one at the moment. Still plenty of time to go though. We've played 53 minutes here, and it is Barnsley 1, Brentford 2 here on TalkSport 2. Sam Parkin alongside me, James Fielden, for commentary of this one this afternoon. They throw in to Barnsley on the left hand side, taken by Williams. Anderson approaching the halfway line, looking up and looking long. A high one towards Cavare down the right. Rico Henry judges it well and nods it clear, but only as far as Woodrow. Plays it infield where it's taken on by Luke Thomas, trying to get the better of Henry, and he has got the better of him. Thomas with the cut back, and Jean-Viet plays it away, and it's helped out now to Benrahma. Man who really glides around the pitch, almost Eden Hazard-esque, isn't he? The way he has that great close control, but just moves around past players. He makes it look so effortless in the process. And it breaks out here. Watkins, left-hand side. They've got two in the middle. One of them is Benrahma, and Watkins took his time about playing it infield. Benrahma was ready and waiting to receive the ball. Makocha. Canos is going to be offside again here on the right. And he was looking right across the line as well. Two great chances for him to get beyond that Barnsley defence. The flag off for offside. It's a free kick to Barnsley, around 20 yards short of the halfway line.
I mean, they're so open, James. Every time Brentford get possession of the ball, Barnsley lose it. Look like they're going to be able to get through and create an opportunity. I think Watkins' pass there was for Canos initially. He tried to slide in Benrahma, who's dispossessed, and in the end Canos offside once more. That's 3 times I've counted at the start of this second half when he should have been in, either to try and assist the goal or take a shot on himself.
Williams has missed it. Canos motoring down the right hand side. Watkins in the middle, Benrahma far side. It's still Canos looking to try and centre the ball here, sets it back instead. Jensen swings one in, and Cavare taking no chances. He heads it behind. Brentford all over Barnsley here, and they have themselves another corner. Thomas Frank applauding the play in front of us in the technical area here. His side are all over Barnsley at the moment, and they have this set piece on the left.
I mean, they didn't end the first half particularly well, Barnsley, but they look completely disjointed since the change in formation and since the 15-minute break at half-time. So not sure what Daniel Stender was hoping he was going to achieve by changing things. There wasn't too much wrong with that first half performance. It's had a detrimental effect on his side at the start of this second half.
Corner on the left hand side for Brentford in front of their travelling fans. Swung in by Benrahma. It's well headed away at the back there by Halma. Henry with the switched ball out to the left hand side, and the slickness of this grass will take it into Benrahma inside the box. Oh, just couldn't nick it past his man as Brentford looked for a third there, and in the end Janssen takes it back towards his own goal. Is able to play it out in the end and picks a pass to Dalsgaard down the right. He clips a high ball forward. It's headed away by Anderson on the edge of his own penalty area, and it's a Brentford throw down the right hand side. But how has it gone into an extreme like this, where they've got 3-on-3, sometimes 3-on-2, and obviously they haven't been able to make it work? Is it something that Brentford have done, or is it this change in formation from Barnsley that have gifted them more room?
I think it's more the Barnsley setup at the moment. Of course, Brentford got better as that first half wore on, so they entered half-time with their tails up, but seems to be more space, especially over on that far side. I don't know if Connor Chaplin is neglecting his defensive duties to a degree. He obviously had a more out-and-out winger in Thomas playing that side in the first half, and the balance was fine with him and Williams. At the moment, Canos has been able to be slid through. There's not a great deal of pressure on the ball, and that ball seemed to be on from the first minute of the second half.
Throw in here to Brentford, which has been given away. Chaplin trying to bring the ball out from the back and does well, links it into midfield to find Luke Thomas, but he gives it away. Henry wanting Benrahma to go ahead of him down the left hand side, but Henry forgets to take the ball with him, and now Brentford could be in trouble, and they are in trouble because they've given away a free kick. Norgard has pulled down his man, and the referee stopping play here. Sam Parkin alongside me, not happy.
I don't understand why they just don't wait, James. Everyone in the ground can see that Barnsley are in good possession. They've still got players breaking either side of the player on the ball. There's been 2 fouls. We all know there's been 2 fouls. Wait to see if that pass reaches its intended target, as it did, and then he blows up, pulls it back for a free kick. I just don't get it. It's got to be the easiest thing to pick up, hasn't it, as a referee advantage?
You'd think so. This referee was actually in charge of Brentford's last win against Derby at the end of August. Well, you know what it's crying out for, don't you? Sam Parkin, they want more ex-pros to go and be referees instead, but you're too happy sitting here commentating on the game instead. Sorry, Sam was handing out his sweets there to his friends alongside him. I'm just saying, they want more ex-players to be referees as well, but they just don't seem to want to do it.
Well, I know Chris Uwalumu's been doing the course recently, and I don't think anyone will be arguing with him at any stage. I don't think he'd be getting too many advantages wrong either.
Keeping up with play might be an issue for him these days. I've seen his Instagram, he's out all the
time. Possibly.
Free kick here then to Barnsley. Central position, they've got to try and work the angle here. Mowat clips it into the right side towards Woodrow, who gave his man marker Rico Henry, who was closest to him, a bit of a nudge to try and give himself some room, and plants a header well wide of goal in the end.
Yeah, it's tough to get the necessary power on that. He's almost crouching, Woodrow, and trying to generate it from an unnatural position, and just clipped off his head and went behind. But I mean, what a reaction, don't you? I think there's a nervousness about Barnsley, isn't there, James? Because they've not been taking points and winning games, and we need to factor that into it. They've had the perfect start today, but when you're unable to build on it and you're giving over so much possession to a good side, that nervousness can creep in. They somehow need to arrest that and get the fans back on side in this second half. There's still plenty of time to salvage something. Rico
Henry with a throw in here for Brentford on the left, just about in line with the edge of the penalty area. Come on Brentford, is the chant from the away fans. He takes the throw. Makocho. Henry swings the ball in from the left. It was a cross ball in, had plenty of power, headed away. Jensen, edge of the box, deflected, and it dips just over the bar. Another chance for the Bees. The away fans would have been buzzing if that one had hit the net. It goes behind for yet another corner.
Yeah, they can smell blood, can't they, Brentford? I think a third goal now would really take the game away from Barnsley and almost be a cert that Brentford will be disappearing down the M1 with all 3 points. They're so much in control, they're in command, and I'm sure Daniel Stender is thinking about what he can do to impact this now.
Corner to Brentford, in it comes, nodded on towards goal but wide from Janvier. Goal kick here to Barnsley. Their fans have got ever so quiet now. This game has turned totally in the 15 minutes we've had in this second half so far. Barnsley 1, Brentford 2 here on TalkSport 2.
I mean, I really admire the way they play. But look, here again.
Oh, a real mess up at the back as Barnsley try and play out from the back. Watkins has gone down holding his ankle. He was caught there, although he's back up on his feet again now. And it's Thomas going away down the right-hand side here for Barnsley, but he gives it away and it's picked up by Norgar. Plays it out towards the right-hand side, and Canos who made the run, but judged well by Williams who heads it back. Moa just inside the Brentford half, turning and moving away from Jensen. Sibbick to the left, Williams who's tucked inside from that left-back area that he's been patrolling for this game so far. Cavare, really lazy ball inside and just toe pokes it no more than a centimetre or two, gives it straight to Benrahma who carries the ball, and he sent Canos away down the right-hand side. Watkins waiting in the middle, Canos through on goal, chance for another. Oh, it's into the side netting. What an opportunity there for Brentford to make it 3-1. Apologies if you lost us there for a second or two. Brentford were through on goal. Sergi Canos through on goal down the right-hand side. He could have squared it to Watkins, but instead he went for goal himself and put it into the side netting, Sam Parkett.
I mean, it's just, I talk about Canos till I'm blue in the face. I think it seems like in most weeks that end product is just always lacking in the last season or so. It's a brilliant ball from Benrahma, manipulates the ball initially away from 2 or 3 players, slides in the exact same ball in behind Jordan Williams. Canos has got the beating of him, all ends up every time. Fronts up Brad Collins, got to go across the keeper for one, and he just slides it into the side netting on the near post. So Brentford have had enough chances to be out of sight in the last 15 minutes, no question.
A double change here for Barnsley. They are sending on Malik Wilks as well as Patrick Schmidt. Schmidt, an Austrian under-21 international. He got 8 goals last season in the Austrian Bundesliga. Barnsley bringing him in to add some firepower. It looks like he's going to go and play up front alongside Woodrow. And they're also bringing on Malik Wilks. And I think Luke Thomas is the other man who's gone off here. So Malik Wilks comes on for him, signed from Leeds in the summer. 14 goals he hit with Doncaster last year, so they're bringing goals into their side here to try and find one to pull themselves level.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like tweak at half-time. That experiment hasn't worked, and it's back to almost what we started with now, with Schmidt alongside Corley Woodrow. 2 out-and-out strikers, really, in tandem. Wilks, fantastic last season at Doncaster. So many times cutting in from the right-hand side and whistling shots in with his left foot. Well, he's going to be playing on the opposite side to what he occupied last season at Doncaster, but looks like a good player to me, and surprised that Leeds are able to let him go. So Wilks wide on one side, Brown on the other, Schmidt up front with Woodrow.
You're listening to Barnsley against Brentford in the Championship on TalkSport 2 with Screwfix, proud partners of the EFL. This has been a good game so far. Brentford leading by 2-1, but they've had chances to make it 3 and 4-1 and so many more beyond, haven't they?
Yeah, and Thomas Frank will be thinking that down there, because he knows that they haven't been clinical enough this season and probably last season for large portions as well. So I think from what they produce in the 15-20 minutes and for the disarray really the Barnsley rearguard's been in, they should be home and hosed here. They should have had the 3 points cemented. They've had 2 great opportunities to extend their lead to 2, and there's no signs of it changing at the moment. For the Barnsley perspective, let's hope those couple of substitutions can give them a lift.
Wilkes trying to put the pressure on here, wearing the gloves. You don't often see that in September. Charging here against Dalsgaard down the left-hand side, and Dalsgaard slides in and then almost slides out of the stadium on the pitch there, because it is very, very wet on that far side as we look across. Wilkes trying to get the better of his man. He was doubled up on there as Jensen dropped back in as well. There's a throw in to Barnsley. It's going to be taken here by Williams. The rain hasn't stopped all game here at Oakwell. It has been relentless. Just a bit like Brentford's attacking in this second half. They scored 60 seconds into it. Had so many more chances since then, but it remains 2-1 to the Bees, and Barnsley have conceded a free kick as they try to build an attack down the left-hand side. And the referee having to order the goalkeeper Raya to get on with things here already as he tries to slow the game down. It's lifted long and high into the right channel towards Watkins, who cushions a header back, and it falls at the feet of Canos, involved so heavily in the game in this second half. Just wonder whether Brentford are preparing a change or two here, with nearly half of this second half gone, a quarter of the game remaining. Here on TalkSport 2. Wilkes wins a throw down the left-hand side. Is it a case of Barnsley need their fans a bit more here, or a case of Barnsley need to do something to excite the fans?
A bit of both, really. I think it's just that it's been quite repetitive, I think, this season. You know, good pockets of playing performances, but not been able to knit it together for the full 90 minutes, and I think it's a sense of deja vu the Barnsley fans are seeing, but they've got fresh legs on there.
Wilkes down the left-hand side, good power and strength to get into the penalty. It goes over! Goal kick given. Well, the referee took a look at that one, pointed towards the penalty spot, but in the end he was pointing just towards the 6-yard box, and it's a goal kick. But from where we're sitting, that one looked a bit dodgy to me.
I think it's close. I don't think there's enough in it to be a penalty. I think Wilkes is playing for it. I think he's anticipating that there's going to be some contact from Dalsgaard, but I back the full-back there. I think he's an experienced international. It looked like he had that situation under control.
Just in a replay of it, and Wilkes was on the blind side of the referee, probably playing forward, as Sam said. Benrahma, left side. Canos is free on the right. If Benrahma can get it to him, placed on the outside of his boot. It's a sumptuous ball to the right-hand side. Canos, his centre, in it comes. Watkins for the hat-trick! It's in! He's done it! 3-1 Brentford, and Barnsley can't say it wasn't coming. The goalkeeper got a hand to the ball, but it skidded over the goal line, and in it goes. Brentford move on to a 3-1 lead here at Oakwell, and they've been such good value for it.
That's exactly what they deserve after the performance they put on in this second half. But I mean, how many warnings do Barnsley need? Benrahma has had no real pressure on him down this side. He's been able to get turned. Yes, he's a fantastic player at this level, we know that, but you can't have the freedom to be able to get turned, take people on and play that crossfield ball, which he's done so easily all afternoon. And delivery from Canos on that occasion, he gets it spot on. He's been wayward when he's got into great positions throughout this game, but finally he gets it right, squares it. Watkins just about gets enough on the header to take it beyond Brad Collins, and it squirms over the line. So Brentford hugely in control in this second half, and now got the third goal they deserve.
And fans walking out the ground already with 68 minutes gone here. It's turning into a miserable afternoon in more ways than one for Barnsley. That was another strange goal there, though, wasn't it, with that ball just squirming over the line. The goalkeeper looked as though he'd saved it at first, but then the ball just had enough momentum with the slipperiness of the surface as well to go over the line for that third goal.
Yeah, I mean, Brad Collins looked like he was a little bit slow to react. The Canos delivery was always going to evade him, but it took him a little bit of time to readjust his position and be facing Watkins for when the finish came towards him. Could he have done better? I'd have to see it again, but my first thought is that he was a little bit sloppy there, Brad Collins, and potentially be disappointed he didn't thwart Watkins as he looked for his hat-trick.
His first league hat-trick since a 4-1 win for Exeter City away at Newport County back in December 2016. He's been waiting a while. We want four, chant the Brentford fans here, as they close in on a third victory of this league season. Cavare to the right hand side he goes, and Brentford urged to get out and get forward here. There are more goals in this game for them now, you have to say that. Here's Mowat out to Wilkes on the left hand side, intercepted well by Dalsgaard. Place for Canos on the right, so much space for him in this game. Low ball in field towards Watkins, but it's in between he and Benrahma in the end. Barnsley clear. Dalsgaard with a less convincing boot into the air. Breaks for Wilkes on the left hand side. Apologies if you're getting some interference in the game at the moment. Barnsley with a low ball in here from the left hand side, and it's been cleared behind. It is a corner. A chance here for Barnsley to try and pull a goal back, and they need a goal back soon. 20 minutes to go here on TalkSport 2. It's Barnsley 1, Brentford 3. A hat-trick from Ollie Watkins. Swung in, out-footed by Mowat. Wilk attacks it. It goes out for a corner again, does it? It does. On the left-hand side here, as Barnsley attack the CK Beckett stand in this second half here at Oakwell. Another outswinger. High ball towards the penalty spot, headed away by Pontus Jansson. Benrahma picks up the ball inside his own half. No one ahead of him. He's the furthest man forward, but he gives the ball away. Barnsley will try and bring it back here. Mowat on the left wing, trying to go past Benrahma, does go past him. Space and time to put the ball in there. It's attacked at the near post by Patrick Schmidt, but wide it goes for a goal kick.
Yeah, better spell from Barnsley, but I do worry for them. I worry that Brentford could rack up a real score here against them today. They're so open. I don't want to be too harsh, you don't want to be too critical, because you have to admire Daniel Stendhal that he wants to play entertaining football and try and outscore teams, but it's almost like he sent his side out in the second half and they look really unprepared to deal with what Brentford have got in their armoury. They're slick passers of the football. There's a lot of pace at the top end of the pitch, and they just don't have much support, that back four. They certainly haven't anyway in this second period. I think it would have been wiser to be a little bit more defensive when they came out for the second half, and not declare that all you want is a point, but maybe just think what if they counter-attack Brentford, what have we got in place to make sure we dispel those quick bursts that they're capable of.
Another corner here for Barnsley. Malik Wilkes making a nuisance of himself again. He's had a good impact here since coming on as a sub for Thomas. Alex Moe ready and waiting on the left hand side. In it comes. Woodrow tries to pick it up on the edge of the penalty area. Still Corley Woodrow gives it away, and there's a counter attack on here for Brentford. Mokotjo doesn't really know who's around him at the moment, and it was a poor ball forward, wasn't it? Had options left and right, but they were side by side of him, really. Weren't ahead of him at all, didn't really know where to play the ball, and just played it forward in hope rather than expectation. And Barnsley have the ball back inside their own half now. It's played out to the left hand side as they come forward here with Mowat. Wilkes back to Mowat. He's being forced wide at the moment, digs out the cross from that left side, well headed away by Janvier. Wilkes attacking it, but it's headed well clear this time by Norgard. Mamadou Thiam is about to come on here for Barnsley. It's a Brentford throw though. Played some wonderful stuff in this second half, and Barnsley about to make their final change, and Dimitri Cavare is going to come off here, lead right back. Final throw of the dice for the home side. Tiam, the midfielder, comes on. Not really sure who's going to go to right back here. Looks like Brown may slot back one.
He doesn't mess about, Daniel Stendhal, because I saw Tiam play as a number 10 and as a wide right player last season. I mean, he's so attacking in terms of his setup. It's incredible. Brentford really enjoyed themselves, looking like they're going to create chances every time they come forward. I don't think the scoring's done.
Woodrow gives the ball away. Brentford pick it up. We've played 74 minutes here at Oakwell. Barnsley 1, Brentford 3 here on TalkSport 2. Your home of the EFL, covering this wonderful league and all of their competitions week in, week out. Fed forward here, Canos picks it up on the right hand side. He managed to make something of that in the end and links the players. He heads it wide here to Jensen, who rolls it back to Dalsgaard. Now Brentford just need to keep the ball and let Barnsley chase them in the time that remains here at Oakwell now. Rico Henry picks it up on the left after a number of zigzag passes from right to left. Ben Rama on the left wing, running here against Brown, skips inside, tries the reverse ball into the box. It's good, it's worked out, it comes back, saved Ben Rama. Oh, that would have wrapped it up once and for all. Drifts his shot wide of goal, just a couple of yards past the post. It looks as though that one would be planted into the bottom corner. Wide it goes, another wonderful flowing Brentford move. This time it doesn't result in a goal.
Yeah, Ollie Watkins, the creator on that occasion. Ben Rama gets a clean strike away, but there's actually one more pass onto the right. Jensen completely unopposed, probably would have had a better chance of scoring, but you don't blame Ben Rama. He's been sensational in this second half, and they all want to get on the act. It's too easy for him out there. It really is. It's been, I think, a good Brentford performance. Of course it has, from about the 20-minute mark, but it hasn't half been helped by such an attacking lineup and philosophy, if you like, for Barnsley, because they're still trying to get back into the game. They've got a right-sided forward player playing at right back now. He's not tried to shore things up at any stage today, Daniel Stendhal. He still believes he can take something from this game, which is either foolish or admirable. It's
a Barnsley corner on the left, in swinger this time, in towards the penalty area, but a great claim by the goalkeeper. So a quick ball out here towards Ben Rama on the left hand side, bounces off the head unconvincingly of Anderson. Ben Rama on the left wing brings the game down to walking pace, then picks it up again and jogs in field and tries to play a ball forward to Canos, but it's intercepted by Barnsley and played away by Collins, the goalkeeper. Sibic in midfield, inside his own half, up towards the halfway line towards Mamadou Tiam. Sibic looking up and looking forward, plays the long diagonal out towards the right hand side towards Wilkes. He can't do anything with the ball on the edge of the penalty area. Rico Henry clears. Mokotjo putting a foot in. Ben Rama picks it up, tries to ease his way past the Barnsley number 24, Arpa Halma. And a late challenge on Henry, and the referee blows quickly again there, and Brentford could have worked it out to the right hand side, and again David Webb quick to blow the whistle when he could have let the game flow, and he hasn't stopped it to show a card even. It's a slight injury to Henry, who will be okay, but it's a free kick to Brentford when they could have had an attack there. Yeah, a bit of frustration just seeping into the Barnsley players. You feel a couple of sliding challenges. Malik Wilkes certainly worthy of a free kick award in Brentford's favour. Janvier standing over this free kick. Just over 10 minutes to go here at Oakwell. Barnsley 1, Brentford 3 on TalkSport 2. Firm header away by Halmer as this free kick is taken forward by Janvier. Tiam carrying it forward from left to right. Woodrow, Mowat out to the left hand side to Williams. Barnsley trying to find a way back into this game to give them a chance late on of an equaliser. The home fans not happy. They thought they should have had a decision there from the referee, a possible penalty, but play continues, and it's a Brentford throw wide on the right hand side, just short of the halfway line, and there's going to be a change for them here, and it's going to be a homecoming for Ethan Pinnock, who is going to come on for Sergei Canos. How good has he been today?
Canos, where he was the supplier of the third goal, but I think he should be leaving here with a couple of goals to his name and probably another assist as well. So he's such a good athlete. You know, he gives them an outlet on that right hand side because he's got the pace and the athleticism, and invariably he's beaten the fullback Williams to the ball. But I still want more from him. You know, if I was a manager or coach, I'm thinking you've got to be getting 12 goals, you've got to be getting me 15, 20 assists a season, because he's got that athleticism. So it's a frustration, but yeah, part of a good Brentford second half performance, definitely.
Watkins picks it up, goes back to Makoccio. Benrahma, who's been one of the stars of the show today here for Brentford. Such a good little player. The Algerian picks it up again here, goes wide to Henry on the left. This ball was deflected as he tried to play it infield, plays it infield again, breaks now for Benrahma. Plays and pops it through the legs there of Civic, who wasn't having that and stopped him in his tracks. Free kick Brentford. How good was that? Yeah, fantastic. Just rolled his studs on the ball and all, and also got a little nutmeg out of it. Ran around the other side of the player, drew a few gasps from the people around us. That's Brentford into a back three now. Then with Pinnock entering the fray, so Dalsgaard and Rico Henry play as wing back. So it's the system they've been playing, but obviously with that third centre half now on the field. Thomas Frank probably just declaring 3-1's enough, let's get back down the motorway. It's going to be a long wet trip for them, as it will be for us. Benrahma standing over this free kick. Looks like he fancies a shot on goal here, the way he's standing, unless he's going to play it short somehow. 4-man wall for Barnsley, this in between the edge of the D and the left hand corner of the penalty area. Well, it must be a good 30 yards from goal. Benrahma standing over it, steps up to the ball now, curls it over the wall, but it's gathered by the goalkeeper. It was on target, but never really in danger of going in. Collins gets rid of it quickly. Barnsley try and help it towards the halfway line, but it's only going to come back. Worked wide by Watkins, who wants a fourth goal, not only for him but for his side as well. High ball played forward, but David Raya, the Brentford goalkeeper, well off his line to grab the ball. Barnsley look well beaten here now. We're inside the final 9 minutes of normal time here on TalkSport 2. Silence almost all around this ground now, isn't it? Just a few hundred Brentford fans away to our left hand side. The Barnsley fans slowly making their way home for a Sunday roast. But it hasn't been their Sunday best at all, has it?
No, I mean, such optimism after the first 5-10 minutes when they were so on top. Should have been 2 goals to the good, you could possibly say. Been second best from about the 20-25 minute mark. Brentford by far the better side, the better chances. And I just look at it and you think the two fullbacks have bombed on in the last few moments. They've been bombing on the whole second half, and Sibic's been great on the ball, but I think defensively it's probably the best part of his game, so he just needs to have a bit more tactical nous, I think, and stay a little bit deeper, stay and protect those centre halves. And if one of the fullbacks goes, one of those central midfield players needs to help out a bit more defensively, or the other fullback has to have the nous to think, well, we're in this game, it's 1-1 or we're 2-1 behind, we don't have to go too attacking. I think, you know, they've been far too optimistic that they could outscore Brentford today, Barnsley. I think that's always difficult because they've got fantastic forward players. And they've put it together. You know, I was critical of Brentford probably leading into this game today pre-match, and also in the opening exchanges. You know, have they got that final product? Can they find that little bit when it really matters? Well, today you can't criticise them in that regard.
Barnsley were so strong at home as well, because before their recent home defeats against Leeds and Luton, they were unbeaten here in 29 home games. Obviously plenty of those in League One as well, but they'd really made this place a place where opposition teams didn't want to come and play. But they just seem to have lost that at the moment, and in this second half especially really haven't threatened Brentford at all.
Yeah, I think it's only the defeat against Luton, which was an abject performance by all accounts, and obviously Carlisle in the Cup. But you know, some other games they've showed some promise since they've come up to the Championship. They need to get back to that, because it's going to be the home form that keeps them in the division, if that's achievable. Today, you know, for large parts they've been second best, and you just think you have to adapt. You know, maybe at League One when you've got the ammunition going forward, you can get away with it. Well, I'm afraid everyone in the Championship's got that ammunition, give or take. every player has got someone who can take chances, who can affect the game in the final third, and I think they're going to have to reassess in the days to come and just maybe be a little bit harder to beat at home, whether that means tweaking the system, taking one of those forward players out of the game. It's certainly something that he's going to have to think about, Daniel Stendhal.
And Derby now on Wednesday night, a team who've been all over the place this season in terms of results and things going on off the pitch as well, as we've seen in the last week or so. What chance do you give them against them here at home on Wednesday?
Well, I do. I give them a chance. I don't think Derby are going to be in the promotion shake-up this year. I think it's a year where Philip Cocu's probably going to have to consolidate. He's going to be, I wouldn't say he's going to be under pressure, but he's going to have to show enough to the hierarchy that he's the man to take them forward next year, maybe with a better squad, because they've lost their best players, Derby. That's clear, but they're just finally getting their act together. 4 points from the last 2 games, and it'll be a tough game, but there's no reason why Barnsley, we've seen enough, I think, in that first 20 minutes that they've got some good players, and they shouldn't be, after the way they started the game, they shouldn't be in this predicament now today.
We are back underway at the moment. Matthias Jensen is hobbling towards the tunnel here for Brentford. He's been taken off with an injury, and coming on for him is Josh Da Silva, the 20-year-old signed from Arsenal. Mokotjo here for Brentford, plays it infield, and it's picked up by Norgard. Free kick Brentford just short of the halfway line. Meandering towards the finish here now. We've played 85 minutes. Brentford leading by 3-1, a hat-trick for Ollie Watkins after Cauley Woodrow's stunning opener after just 60 seconds. Brentford equalising less than 60 seconds, going ahead less than 60 seconds into the second half. And they've added to their lead since then as well, to give them a comfortable away win, their second away win of the season. They'd only scored 1 goal on the road before today. 3 more here this afternoon. Their record is looking a little bit better now. They're at home to Bristol City at Griffin Park on Wednesday night as well. Janssen here smashing the ball towards the halfway line. Watkins chests it down. Mokotjo into the right channel for Ben Rama to chase, but he won't keep it in play. It's a Barnsley throw, which will be taken here quickly by Mads Andersen. Doesn't really have any options on that. Barnsley have just really fallen away in this game. So bright, so lively, dynamic in the opening exchanges, but once Brentford managed to get their football going and managed to find those gaps, there's only been really one winner in this game, hasn't there? And they've been good value for their 3-1 lead.
Yeah, you spoke about 10 minutes before the half-time whistle, James, about the atmosphere had changed to a degree, and they were blaming the referee and the assistant referee for a few decisions not going their way.
Ben Rama, edge of the penalty area, drives one towards goal, but sends it high into the away end.
Yeah, and we smelt it at half-time that Brentford were in the ascendancy, and if they'd started in the same mood, it could quickly go away from Barnsley. It's exactly how it played out. I think that last 10-15 minutes of the first half has proved pivotal today. And yes, Ollie Watkins has given us a really good centre-forwards display. Let's be clear, he's not been heavily involved in the build-up, if you like, but just positioning himself perfectly to convert when Canos and Ben Rama could find their range, and he gets a nice round of applause as he leaves the fray now.
Yeah, a hat-trick for Ollie Watkins. It's been a great afternoon's work for him. He makes way, and coming on is the Greek forward Nikos Karelis. He made his debut against Stoke City, playing 27 minutes last week. He was signed from Genk on a free transfer. He's playing for PAOK in Greece last season.
The official attendance this afternoon is 12,588.
12,588, the gate here this afternoon at Oakwell. You listen to Barnsley against Brentford in the Championship. Apologies if you just lost us there for a second. You're listening to Barnsley against Brentford in the Championship on TalkSport 2 with Screwfix, who are proud partners of the EFL. And we've got just 2 minutes left now of normal time as more and more red and white seats are seen around this stadium. Once a fortress, now it looks like they're going to suffer 3 successive home defeats. Barnsley have it just inside the Brentford half. It's slid forward, Woodrow, edge of the penalty area, onto his left foot, drives one and sends it high over the bar and behind. It's a goal kick to Brentford. Just that's a few more seconds tick by here en route to victory.
It's been really quiet, hasn't he, second half, Corley Woodrow. Not had the impact that he had before the break. Just racking my brain here to think who can come back into this Barnsley side and have an effect. Kenny Dougal, huge inspirational player for them last season from the centre of the park. He played in the under-23s yesterday after a long-term injury. That's, you know, a glimmer of light really for Barnsley moving forward. And I'd just like to see Sibuk maybe reverted to right back. He's done fantastically well in midfield, but I think he'd make them stronger defensively if he could come back in. And they're waiting for Ben Williams to return from suspension, who could maybe slot into the left-hand side. So I think there is going to be some changes in terms of the personnel in the weeks to come, and for the better for Barnsley. I still believe they can, you know, get out of this predicament that they're in, but it may take a few weeks and months yet, and also some good business in January. I think a front player has got to be at the top of the shopping list for January, and to come in to complement Woodrow and try and get some goals, as Keith Moore did alongside Woodrow last season, will give them a much better chance of surviving the drop and getting them up the table.
Well, they did sign Patrick Schmidt in the summer, but, you know, opportunities have been limited for him so far. Hasn't started a single game.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's not in the team at the moment because the manager's not believing that he's up to it. So you hope that he comes good.
Brentford have it. Coming forward here, Ben Rama slips it into the box, doesn't quite fall for Josh Da Silva. We're into 3 minutes of additional time at the end of the game. The flag up for offside. This could have been a cricket score, quite frankly, couldn't it? The chances and the opportunities that Brentford have had to get in on goal.
Yeah, they're going to walk away, you would presume, unless something crazy happens in the next 3 minutes, with a handsome away victory. But if I'm one of those coaching staff at Brentford, or the manager sitting in the office tomorrow, you're going to think, we're not clinical enough still. We should have had 5, we should have had 6. The situations that have presented themselves for Brentford in this second half are unheard of in Championship football. They've been so open, Barnsley. They've been cut to shreds on so many occasions after the break. It's been ridiculous. And honestly, if that final ball would have been better, then they would have had 5 or 6 goals, no question.
Well, it probably comes to no surprise then that before the round of games last week, they had the second worst conversion rate in the entire league, just 5.3% of chances taken. And if you're going to have success in this league, it's got to be much, much better, hasn't it? You know, they're doing the right bit in the middle part of the field. They've just got to finish things off. Of course, they haven't got Neil Maupay anymore. He left for Pastures New in the summer as he went down to Brighton.
Well, that's going to give Ollie Watkins, not that he's had a poor start to the season, quite the contrary, but that's going to give him an enormous boost today, where it's time the others stepped up and added that final little bit to Brentford's great play. Get that end product going consistently and start getting a good return of goals, because Canos, Ben Rama, they're all capable. And you know, well done Ollie Watkins today, because where some of them weren't completely convincing in front of goal, he certainly has been.
Brentford just trying to see this one out now. We've played 1 minute and 40 of added time at the end of the game. 3 minutes added on by the referee, David Webb. And this ground's almost empty now. It has been a bad day for Barnsley, and it could get even worse. Ben Rama slips it through. Corellis down the right hand side. His ball across towards Rico Henry. Still half a chance in there, and it's swept away to safety. Well, Rico Henry doesn't get too many goals. He's only scored once for Brentford, making the run at the far post there as the ball was swept in towards him from Nikos Corellis, but he couldn't get anything on the end of it, and another chance goes begging.
That's terrific defending from Jacob Brown. There's a wonderful ball in from Corellis, perfect area, looked like it was going to end up as a goal. Well defended.
Da Silva inside the box, his cut back, and Barnsley will bring this one away, but that will almost certainly be the last action. Just 25 seconds left on the clock now. Out of play. It's a throw in to Barnsley, who have been well beaten. The referee taking a check of the watch. Just a few seconds left here. It's going to be a valuable win on the road for Brentford, and another home defeat for Barnsley. There is the full-time whistle. Brentford 3-1 winners here. A hat-trick from Ollie Watkins. It's been a funny old game though. Barnsley leading this one inside 60 seconds right at the start of the match. A stunner from Corley Woodrow, but Ollie Watkins equalised on 35 minutes, a header on the 6-yard box which he planted into the net, and then less than 60 seconds into the second half, Watkins scored again, and he scored again on 68 minutes to secure his hat-trick to put Brentford 3-1 up. But quite frankly, it could have been 4, 5, 6, 7, however many you want, but Brentford in the end, Sam Parkin, really good value for this 3-1 win.
Yeah, absolutely. I think from about the 20-minute mark they took control of the game. They were trying to overplay, I think, from the first whistle, especially in these conditions, and we saw that Barnsley start with such energy and aggression, and Brentford was struggling to manipulate the ball around that press, so that was a problem. But once they maybe cut out some simple errors and stopped playing one too many passes, they really got to grips with the game, and thoroughly deserved the victory. Best team by a mile after the break. I'm sitting here a little bit confused as to what Daniel Stendhal was trying to do in that second half. I can't believe they're that open. I can't believe they're that open against one of the best footballing teams in this division. I think be solid after the break. The worst we leave here with today is a point. They were the complete opposite that, completely open, and they got ripped to shreds on occasion. So the supporters leave here today, Barnsley fans. I said before the game, everyone will be fully behind Daniel Stendhal. Well, people will certainly question why he sent his team out like that in the second half.
Ollie Watkins with a massive smile across his face. He's walking across the pitch at the moment with the match ball under his arm. It's been a fantastic day for him and a fantastic day for Brentford. Full time here at Oakwell. It has finished Barnsley 1, Brentford 3.